Good morning and welcome to Terrific Tuesday. So, I went fishing on the weekend. Always a bit of a laugh, yeah? Always fun. There's also reflection time. My husband and I and my son was with us this time, and we went with my sister and Erin and my brother-in-law, and we had always have a bit of reflection time on the boat. And like telling stories and just having time. I think time where you don't have to be anywhere else because your phones don't work, nothing else works. You're sort of in the moment. But we sort of have this. We did this little thing like remember when, and my husband is very stubborn, and we were together 8 years and 3 children and bought our home and everything else before we got married because every time somebody said to him, when are you going to marry her? When are you going to do this? I think he added another year or at least another 6 months. And I used to come from this place. Whenever he would just fob them off, I'm just like, what's wrong with me? What am I not good enough? Why can't you marry me just now? And like I'd come from that place of lack. So we had a bit of a laugh about that, and he was like, I was just sick of people asking me. So if I just kept putting the time off, I was thinking maybe one day they'd stop. Well, I don't think they did. Anyway, I was telling the story that I got him drunk, shaved his head, him and his best mate at the time, shaved his head, and then he came to the party and said, all right, let's get married. But then we were talking about some other things that we've grown out of. And one of the things that I learned when I was growing up, that if somebody says they love you, you have to say it back. And if somebody looks after your children, you owe them. So with my sisters, we had this tit for tat thing going on. And even when you didn't want to look after their kids and you had something else on, you felt obligated to say yes because they'd looked after your kids in the past or done something nice for you. And then I would have the children, or she would have my children, and the whole weekend would just be crap because we were doing something out of obligation rather than doing it because we looked forward to it. So we made this promise to each other. It was probably going on 10 years ago now, that you only say yes when you want to. You only commit to doing something because you want to, not because you feel you owe. And so we cut that strings of giving. So if I would just ring Donna up and she'd be like, oh, and I'm like, here, drop your kids over. I'll look after them. She's like, are you sure? Yep. But I just don't know when I can have yours back. Don't worry about it. We're not going there no more. That's it. It's finished. Let's just do this. And I tell you, it was the next level to our relationship. It was like, we were watching a movie on the weekend. My other sister rang up and said, hey, can I drop my kids off while I go here? I'm like, yeah, drop them off. No worries. Now, I have older kids now. But there's no, oh, Gordon, can you have my kids? Like, so it's all gone. And it's so free. So free to be able to say yes or no because of your circumstances. And nobody gets offended. The other one is like, I love you. I used to say to my husband, I love you. And if he didn't say it back, I'd be like, well, why can't you say it back? And then there'd be an argument, of course, because I would be coming from a place of lack. And same with my kids when I used to say, I love you. And if they don't say it back because maybe they're just not in the mood to, I would be coming from a place of like, I must have done something wrong. And then we start to make up all this bullshit in our head. Now, I know this is a little bit of rambling, but I'm sure it's going to hit the nail on the head for somebody. And so now, when my husband says he loves me, I just sit in there and feel it. I don't feel obligated to say I love you back, honey, or anything like that. It's just like, oh, thank you. And that's it. Like my sister, I went and woke her up. Like, my sister's name is Horizontal. So she's got a nickname, Horizontal. She's always laying down. She was the one that was always out of bed. So I'm up, I'm cooking breakfast, I make them coffee, and I take their coffees into their room when we're fishing. And she's like, just hop into bed with me. I'm like, all right then. So I hop into bed, and she's like, I love you. I'm like, oh. And then because I feel it, then I go, I love you too. And then get out of bed, bitch. Come on, we're going fishing. So my whole point is here, and especially in this Christmas spirit, is if you come from lack, you're lowering your self-worth. You're telling yourself a story and getting emotionally involved with something that doesn't feel good. So if you just remove all expectations from anybody else and just keep you in alignment with what you want. So with gratitude, with love, with joy, with happiness, and you just stay in that, there is nothing that will stop you from achieving the good that you desire. Nothing, because that's the feeling that you're going to have there. We've been reading this book, The Having, in book club, and this morning there was a phrase in there. It was just feel gratitude, feel it. When somebody gives you a compliment, just sit there and feel it. Thank them. Like, you know how there's some people that can't take a compliment, but there's other people, like you say, oh my God, that dress looks amazing. And then they can't just say, oh, thank you. They've got to try and think, well, what looks good on you? What can I give you a compliment about? Can we just stop that? Because then it's trading. It really is. So you can just go, oh, thank you. And just actually feel that, because they're actually giving you some energy. And who knows, it could be a week or two, or it could never be, but you will give it to somebody else. That energy will come to and through you, and you will give it to somebody else, because the law of the universe states that it always comes back. Stop thinking that it has to come back through certain channels. Just receive it back any way that it comes. Because if you decide it's going to come back through this certain way, sometimes you get disappointed because it doesn't happen. So, good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, good morning. Oh, thanks for the butterfly. So, those of you that are already kicking it, well done. Let's do Christmas presents in the comments today. Like, it's a gift of giving, hey? Just give. Graciously give. Willingly give. And if you're on the receiving end, receive. And just say thank you. And feel the love and the emotion that went with it. And be true. If you're not feeling something, don't say it just because you think you have to. Because otherwise, guess what? Somebody else is in control of your feelings. Somebody else is in control of your actions. Your actions should come from within, not from out there, which is without. They should come from within. So, and it's an expression. So if we're expressing something that we feel like we're obligated to, people pick up on that. I even feel it in my chest right now just thinking about it. Like, it doesn't feel good. It's not the energy that you want to and through you. So always align with where you're going, how you're going to feel, and then express whatever comes through, all the goodness that's going to come through there. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks so much for being here. Have an amazing, terrific Tuesday, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Make it the best day ever that today could ever be. And you're only going to do that if you not get offended from outside. Remember, I think I put in there that if your feelings are hurt, it's all ego. Because really, the truth of you cannot be hurt. It's a story that we make up, that other people have the power to make us feel something. They don't. They don't. Stop letting that be a story that you tell. You are in control of you. You decide how you're going to feel. And if it starts to feel something that's not good, just reject it. Reject, reject, reject. No, thank you. Don't take on that idea. All right. Have a great day. Love you all. See ya. Bye-bye.